Good evening, a beautiful evening for the beautiful game in tribute to a beautiful man. Stamford Bridge honours the great Gianluca Vialli with a galaxy of stars performing on the Stamford Bridge stage tonight. Chelsea and Bayern, it's going to be emotional, it's going to be wonderful. And Jason Cundy, I think it's going to be an entertaining game of football.
Good evening, Benjamin. Good evening, everyone. Yes, look, ultimately, there's so many different reasons that we are all here today. Remembering Luca, of course, raising money. We've seen the tributes just to what we've seen to Luca also, but what the money's going to do and what it means to the milestone and what they're going to do with it. And also at the same time, we're going to be entertained and we're going to see some former legends, not just in this club at Bayern Munich, but at the same time also have some fun. Yeah, there's all of this that's going to be that we're going to be enjoying today. So there's so many different strands to this. Joe mentioned it. It's going to be an emotional night. There's no question of that whatsoever, and rightly so. But and we're just watching JT now coming down a skip up. When was the last time we did that, by the way? Those steps.
Well, you look through that lineup, there's a few you wouldn't mind in the squad now. It's one heck of a strong team. It really is. A lot of them played together too. There's so much to look forward to. Liquidator is playing. A balmy evening. Italian flags. And some pleasingly mid to late 90s shirts in order. When it's goals like the sky, there's a tear in my eye. That's the huge banner in the shed end, and in the Matthew Harding end, same again. As about 5,000 medals worth of footballers walk out of the Stamford Bridge tunnel. Giovanni Elba will be marked by John Terry. They're the two captains, Pizarro and Mikel arm in arm. William Gallas has got a grey beard, but don't let that fool you. Solomon Kalou still subsisting on McDonald's instead of what he was supposed to eat at the training ground. And out they come. And yes, Petr Cech's got his headgear on. Of course he has. Wonderful already, and they haven't kicked a ball. They've made light of the actual football of this. Do not be fooled. Elite level athletes don't get to where they get to without a serious competitive streak, that is for sure.
Yeah, these are always fascinating, Ben, these type of games, aren't they? Because the build up to them, and rightly so, there's a jovial atmosphere, there's a serious message that needs to be sent out, and raising money. And of course, when the whistle goes, it's hard. I don't know anyone really likes losing. I don't know anyone. You know, old or young, no one likes losing. So there's always going to be that. But when you're absolutely right, when you've reached the levels and got the medals that we're going to watch, not just the starting 11s, but the players that are coming as well, it's hard not to just want to win, and especially when there's something emotional. You want to do it for Luca as well. There's that as well.
Andre Mariner is the referee, by the way. Bit of an honour for him too, I think. And as I'm sure many of you are aware, close friends and indeed the closest of all, family of our beloved Luca here this evening too. We got half a Champions League winning team out there. And a few others who reckon they could have been in it.
Obviously, so you and I know an awful lot of those guys either work with. I mean, there's one of my oldest friends in football, Frank Sinclair, is out there. We've interviewed, I'm trying to think of the players that we haven't interviewed at some stage, Ben, in all honesty, or worked with.
Everyone round the centre circle. I'm going to hand you back over to Lee Parker.
Joining Stuart in the centre circle, we're delighted to say that we'll also be joined by Gianluca Vialli's wife Catherine and daughters Sophia and Olivia, along with two consultants who are chief deliverer of the Royal Arsenal, Professor Dave Cunningham and Cass Nowitzki. Stuart, it's over to you.
I'm glad we had the minute. Thank goodness for that. Need it for the recovery. So, shall we get the team news in? And what a team. We'll start with Bayern. Stefan Effenberg is the main man coach. Tom Starker in goal. Daniel Van Boyten, we know all about. Giovanni Elbert, pint-sized Brazilian. He has the captain's armband. Claudio Pizarro, who played for both of these clubs with real distinction. And England midfielder Owen Hargreaves in there too. They've got goals on the bench in Roy Mackay. And as for Chelsea, well, Petr Cech is in goal. It's very, very nearly that back five. Not quite, but nearly. But I tell you what, Ryan Bertrand as the Champions League winning left back will take that. Gallas, Cahill and Terry making up that four with him. Mikel Essien and Jody Morris. Ramirez one side, Malouda the other. Solomon Kalou up top. And tons more on the bench next to Roberto Di Matteo, who I might add is welling up. Mr. Cundy.
Well, I mean, it's that song stirs emotion anyway, doesn't it, Listen Dorma? But on a night like this, yes, it affects you, and that's what it does. That's what football does. That's what music does. And you're right, Ben. Moving to the team now. There's some players out there that you and I have commented on hundreds, Ben, of times.
And arguably the greatest of all, watching on from the bench, Gianfranco Zola, and yes, he will be wearing 25, and they are all wearing the number you would associate with them. Your beloved Blues have kicked off, and it's all immediately given away by Jody Morris.
Jody, come on, Jody!
Sending him a message about that later.
Yes,
because you and I know very well that on the training field with his various teams, Jody Morris very much has still got it, and he will think he can hold company with any of these and then some. We'll see. He's got Michael Essien next to him tonight. William Gallas at right back. Can't see Ramirez without thinking of you-know-what in the new camp in 2012.
Yes, yeah, that's, I mean, the most remarkable of finishes. In fact, that season, of course, he scored in the FA Cup final against Liverpool.
The most remarkable finish to that half that changed the feeling completely.
Well, Ben, in
that semi-final.
Ben, I still watch that night in Nou Camp. I still think at times we're going to get beat. Yes. We're going to go out. You know, you know the result, but you still have to watch it just to confirm. Yes, it happened. Nice skill there from Jode.
Good ball, Morris to Malouda, patrolling in the number 15 shirt, that left wing, where he had a couple of stellar seasons under Carlo Ancelotti in particular. Well, shoot, they say. Well, that's where he hit the goal against Guardiola's Barcelona from.
Well, Ben, I'm going to have a moan already. The tempo's not quick enough. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to say now, the urgency, there's no urgency about this game, Ben. Move the ball quicker, left to right, buying a set. Feels a little bit like watching the game against Forest last weekend. Yeah,
the spirit is willing, don't worry about that, the competitive streak is there. The flesh is a bit weaker for sure, and especially more so given the ridiculous record-breaking temperatures at the moment.
Yes, Ben, I can only imagine when the players signed up to do this, and of course it wasn't a difficult decision for them. There's the shoot again, you and I covered that game, Ben.
Better than the past was.
Yeah. I'm sure when these players signed up, they thought, you know what, right? Yeah, beginning of September, yeah, the weather won't be so bad. I won't have much on that weekend. Oh my gosh, yeah? Hottest day of the year, the day before. In fact, I don't know what the records are. They must have been sitting there thinking, how's our luck? No, seriously, how is our luck? Of all the days in the year that this game had to be played on, it had to be around the hottest day of the year and in a heat wave, but
simple selection for Robbie Di Matteo. He said the ones who've been able to handle the physicality of it in the training, and the ones who I think won't be too knackered too quickly. There'll be plenty of substitutions, don't worry, so there'll be far more ovations.
Well, Chelsea got a nice tight back four there. Gallas goes out, and it's a poor pass. Gallas keeps it in. I mean, I'm just watching these players, Ben, and like I said, you know, you and I have been commentating on some of these lads here, watching their debuts, and you know, and watching them leave and carve out not just wonderful careers here, but abroad and international honours. But each one of them you look at, I just think of Gallas. Whenever I see Gallas, I think of that goal against Spurs.
Yeah.
I don't know what your immediate
100%.
Immediate
It's
thoughts
the
are.
only one from down here
yes.
in the shed end goal,
Yeah.
and it was a
Yeah.
couple of days after Peter Osgood had died, and it was the last minute, and the emotions were high anyway. Drawing a game against Tottenham, and he larrups one in from 25 yards. First corner of the game goes to Chelsea. Jody Morris has won it.
When you say won it, Ben, he just trundles out and then manages.
No less of the trundling. Gary Cahill is up, John Terry is up, two of the finer headers in of corners. And it comes towards them now. Cahill chests it down.
Go on, really. Yes.
Here he is, Gallas, a little bit wider than the angle he had before. Essien to Mikel. Yes, Claude Makelele is on the bench to complete the potential trio there. Essien floating it deep. Nice touch. Lucio in the way. Starker will actually let Lucio, who's grown his hair these days, take over.
It was JT fast stick. He just side-footed a ball across the 6-yard box. It was cut out, but Mikel doing Mikel things there, dropping in when needed.
Sideways passes.
By the way, that Champions League performance, there was so much going on. I've watched that game countless times, but his performance on the night was utterly astonishing.
You're talking Bayern now.
I'm talking Bayern.
Not
12.
Barca, yes.
I'm talking Bayern. That performance that he put in on that evening, I think perhaps gets overshadowed a little bit because of what happened. I think it gets a little bit lost. I don't know what you think.
I mean, the performances of a Mikel or a Makelele can get lost anyway, but when you add to it the glory and the everything of that night, then it's going to even more.
Gets a touch. That's what the ironic cheers are about. That we.
Well, he spent a long time doing that. Let's be honest, and that was his magnificent concentration, because he was behind such a good defence and such a good side that he often would have 20, 30 minutes without having anything to do. And then he'd pull off the save. Bayern can't get on the ball here. No. Malouda.
Jody's been pulling strings, by the way. That's nice.
That's his role. Rare touch for Elba.
Yeah, Jody's just he's operating in that number 10, is it number 10 role-ish. He's now sitting alongside Michael Essien.
Yeah, Mikel is the base of the midfield, and I don't think we want to see him anywhere else. That's where we saw him 372 times. Lucio's partner at the back, Daniel Van Buyten here.
I have to say, JT and Cahill, if physically, I could be watching.
That is a really good point.
I could be, if you just look at them, you could be watching, you know, 12, 13, couldn't you? 14, those years.
Yeah, they've got it all right.
They don't,
I mean, maybe not in the sprints, probably, but we haven't seen that yet. No, but you're totally right.
Physically, they don't.
You can see others have eaten a bit better since.
I'm looking at Malouda's shorts. I don't mean to be... You take my point.
Oh, mind you, he's just been beaten to it, actually. There's a shot on here. Hargreaves is wide. Look out, look out! Oh, thankfully, it's just too high. So is that Paulo Sergio popping up in the middle? It was, I think.
He couldn't leap, could he? It's like... Nice build-up play, actually, from Bayern. The first real time they've got into our final third. There's a bit of space. Owen Hargreaves, I don't think he'll be too upset with the cross, I have to say. There wasn't a great leap, Ben, was there? There was, you know, normally you see at that fast stick players of certainly certainly younger and fitter, you know, licking their lips as this cross comes in. It wasn't the worst cross at all.
Just looking out there now, top of my head, I'm saying Salomon Kalou is the youngest player out there now. There are younger on the bench. That's given away. And here is Paulo Sergio, and now Pizarro taking over.
Pizarro, I've got Birmingham whenever I think of Pizarro.
Right, yes, the very start of his season.
Oh!
Oh, look at that little backheader. Petacek alert as ever. Good grab, and he bowls it out quickly. Kepa, take note. Mendy, take note.
That's what keepers can do, even at this level. Get the ball, set up an attack. When they're out of shape, when their positional strategy has been left in some, well, there's certain holes on the pitch, move the ball quickly. Czech's done that, but the rest of the players have let him down. Yeah, going back to Pizarro, Ben, I seem to remember that goal against Birmingham. Late on, it was a 1-0 winner, I seem to remember.
Oh, I was thinking beginning of the season. Was it not a 2-2 draw?
Was it a draw?
And Malouda got one as well. You're really testing me here. You're testing me. Malouda's taking a corner.
It's a late goal, I know that.
They both scored right at the start of the season, a 2-2 draw, and here is Malouda now, but Pizarro's on the other side. That's a great ball in towards Terry. 67 Chelsea goals. Just a few more than our friend Clive Walker, which always annoyed him that a defender did get more. He was always looking at JT coming up on the rails. I was just looking at his numbers down there. Forget the 67 goals, they're a bonus. 717. It's not quite Chopper. Ron Harris still way out top and Peter Bonetti, but in a modern day of the speed of the game and the level Chelsea were playing at, with all due respect to Chopper Harris and Peter Bonetti, because they played in a fine Chelsea side, but they didn't play in one of the best teams in the country for 15 years solidly, and he did. I mean, that is nuts.
No, it
717 appearances for Chelsea.
It is nuts, and he came in, and it's, you know, that at that particular time, I remember hearing a lot about JT long before he made his debut at Chelsea, and you know, I watched him in the under-21s. I thought, what's all this noise about? Who's this young centre-half that's coming through this? And you know,
and a centre midfield before that.
And well, that's right, and that's how he, you know, you can see actually there is a midfielder. The way that he still plays, or did play the game, and I say still, but of course I mean in his professional career, that you can see the midfielder in him. But there was that period, wasn't there, where the stars aligned. You know, Frank came in, and then Roman turned up, and then the team was built around him, and you know that you can think about what might have been differently. You know, John Terry would have been a brilliant centre half no matter what happened, but the fact that the money was there to build a team around him and Frank, that was pretty much it, wasn't it? They were the two guys when you look back over that time when Roman came in.
And the stars did really align, because Marcel Desailly left that same summer that Mourinho came in, and it's okay, well, I've got this guy John Terry, I'm going to give him the armband. It really did. I mean, I talk about legends there, and a teammate of Lucas.
Desailly, of course, but
yeah.
Imagine playing alongside him. Imagine that.
Owen Hargreaves. And this is Vladimir Brankovic, and back to Hargreaves, who's definitely giving it the... I'm not too bothered about the football beforehand, but he definitely is, because they are. Here's Pizarro. Clever. Little give and go. Elbert. That was pretty for a moment. Gary Cahill there. Maybe the best decision anyone's ever made, leaving Bolton in January of that year and coming to Chelsea and winning everything. 263 is not a bad appearance tally, let's be honest, Gary Cahill. Full set for him. Here comes Essien. Oh, was that a step over? I think it was.
It was.
I mean, it was a sort of step over.
It was a step something.
Malouda. Chelsea fans in the shed end want goals. Chelsea fans in the Matthew Harding end will have to wait till the second half for Chelsea goals. Now there's a hand in the air. Gallas making the overlapping run over there for Michael Essien to try and hit. Couldn't quite do it.
I have to say the Stamford Bridge faithful hoping today that might see a win and some goals. It's been a bit thin on the ground for both of those at the start of the season. Still, of course, there's only 4 games that have been played.
We'll get the confirmed numbers later, but from where I'm sitting, it's a massive crowd.
It's a huge crowd, Ben. You know, we're well into the late 30s would be my guess. Mid to late 30s. There's a patch where the away fans normally sit, which, but I have to say, maybe 1 or 2 of the executive, we can't really see them. It's an astonishing turnout. Can we give Ryan Bertrand a little mention as well?
Hasn't had much of the ball yet. He might get it now from Terry, though. Right on cue. Here he is. but he'll be younger than Kalou, and injuries have stopped him doing more in recent years. Went to Leicester, didn't really get a go because couldn't get fit half the time, or more than half the time. Coming in, playing so well on that night in Munich.
Well, yes, that was his Champions League debut, of course.
Ahead of Ashley Cole, who was
Yes,
at left
there we go.
back. Essien won it. Kalou on his bike, by the way. Oh, Michael could do better than that. It's a disappointing ball, and the groans accompanying it.
Yes, and he you know, the thing with, it's amazing when and there's a little bit of space. I'll let you take over here, Benjamin.
Because he's up again this right-hand side, Rankovic. He's had a few little raids. Oh, that's very calm. William Gallas on the chest, back to his keeper. Don't lose that line of communication.
It's amazing, even though the legs perhaps can't play the pass the head sees, but the head still sees it. And that's the thing, you know, it's about having the vision, the ability to pass it. Of course, you need that as well, but it's having the ability just to be able to see it and then execute it.
Morris was looking for a run that Malouda hadn't made there. Here is Bertrand again. Solomon Kalou. Not quite the gap to have a shot there.
No, they're playing very defensive here, Bayern.
They are.
And there's a little bit
They
of
go for the smash and grab.
Oh, he's trying to nutmeg JT, but JT's read it.
Parking the bus. Bayern, dare we accuse them of such things, Stefan Effenberg? It's hot, I know.
It's not getting the penalties, is it? I just wonder how Bayern will feel about that.
I love that. That's the biggest roar of the night, the Terry challenge, and he smiles and he gives Pizarro a little cuddle. and then gives him a little bump for the word. Excellent, excellent.
It's Owen Hargreaves. I just wonder, is there a... You never know.
No, it's Tronkowski. He looks,
was
he
it?
looks
Right,
just
okay.
like Hargreaves, and
Right.
he had a little word for Pizarro afterwards,
Right.
but it's
Well,
Tronkowski. No, you won't want a 50-50 with him. And yes, hydration break for all concerned. Frank Leboeuf, incidentally, is stripped and ready on the touchline, and it looks like he's itching to get on. 15 minutes more than enough, I think, before a bit of that. Are we going to see a bit of Leboeuf? Will he do his trademark? We can say these things now, folks. David Luiz, Didier Drogba, go down, maybe ham it up a little bit, get the big roar when you come back on. The last time we had a Legends match here, I forget now if you were with me, Inter played, and Leboeuf did it then. And funnily enough, Jody Morris was talking to us a little bit during the match there from the dugout, and he said, you watch Leboeuf, give it about 10 minutes, he'll go down, but he'll get up again and he'll be fine, and he'll get the roar. He did it every time I played with him. And sometimes he did it in training, and he did it within 10 minutes. So we shall see. Zola smiling next to Thiago Mendes, one of the loveliest blokes. And we are going to pop downstairs to join Lee Parker. What have you got, Parker, man?
Here we are with Frank. What have you made of the opening minutes here?
Well, that's encouraging. I would say we can achieve something good. I have some names of some players I will substitute right away, but I will keep it for myself.
How long before we see you on the pitch?
I don't know that. You have to see Roberto. Maybe for the last 5 minutes, that would be enough for the fans.
On that bombshell, it's back to you upstairs.
Right, he's got a few he'd be hooking. Typical of I believe he lives in the States quite a lot nowadays.
There's definitely an American twang about his voice also.
And he rides motorbikes. John Terry still organising.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
You can take the armband off the man, but not for very long. He's got it back on, and yes, in full kit.
Very good, Ben.
Offside.
Is there VAR
Sloppy.
here, Ben?
No, we've decided against that this evening. Tell you what, there's a few players out there who'd have loved it here on that night when the air got sucked out of this stadium, when Guardiola's team won it right at the end there, Iniesta. When Michael Essien's goal deserved to be remembered. It's one of those goals that can get forgotten because of its surroundings, and I got a bit of stick at the time for calling it as one of the greatest goals Stamford Bridge has ever seen. And you know what? If that game goes the way it should, Tom Henning of Rabo, it would have.
No, Ben, I'm with you on that. You and I done the commentary that evening. I can still... Well, we've seen the goal so many times. I actually saw the penalty decisions that didn't go our way. There were four.
Yeah.
And the one... Is it Busquets that holds his arm? Who's the one that the handball from?
Eric Abidal, I think. Oh, Abidal, Busquets. Well, keep going, mate. There's a break on here. No,
referee!
Andre Mariner.
Oh, referee's got it blew a little bit.
Oh, puff of the cheeks from Morris.
Jody's not happy. I'm with him. There was it was the Nicolas Anelka towed around the centre half. PK. It's PK. It's PK.
To be honest, just about every Barcelona defender gave away a penalty that night, and yet none of them did. Flag up again here on.
That was the
Vladimir
one.
Rankovic.
And there was a Malouda challenge. I think there were two on Didier. Had VAR existed back then, Benjamin, it would have been a 3-1 comfortable victory. But even the Eto'o handball from a shot from Ballack to right just after they scored the equaliser. Oh my gosh, it's disgusting. Anyway, let it go, Jason.
I was going to say,
let it go.
It's my fault for bringing it up. 14 years ago, Gus Hiddink should have been leading Chelsea to
it made it sweeter. It made it that much sweeter.
Of course, all of those moments from Monaco to Anfield, all of those, and Moscow, of course. We could keep going, but I'm not going to because it's too painful. Here's Ramirez, who helped make it sweeter so much. Jody Morris now. Come on, let's test out this Tom Starker.
Have a shot. Come on, guys. Oh,
it is a shot, if you can call it that. Florian Malouda, it just about made it to Tom Starker.
When you say Malouda's name, what game or what moment do you think of him?
That's a good question. There isn't immediately one, apart from a ridiculous header he scored, I think, against Aston Villa, where the cross pinged in from the right and he bullet-headed it from almost the edge of the box. It's one of the greatest headers I've ever seen. Torres did one once as well. What are you thinking, Malouda?
I've got a goal away from home. Was it Stoke? Towards the end of the game, like a late winner. Left foot from the right-hand side, left foot cuts inside, drills it.
He did score a late winner at Stoke. I am almost certain. I don't have all my notes.
No, I know, but you know that the old grey
no,
Matty,
right.
you can recall on just players. You can almost. Well, I can close my eyes. I can see him cutting inside, pulling the trigger.
Definitely scored a winner against Stoke, and it was a blinder. You're right.
Yeah,
I've got it now. I was getting confused with one that Eden Hazard scored off his left peg at Stoke.
Oh no, that was. No, that was
really came out the blue.
That was an absolute. That was more central.
Bertrand again then. I'd like to see him bombing up the left a little bit more, given that he's younger and fitter.
He should be the fittest player on the pitch.
He should be. Plus Mikel, because he's always kept so much in the tank. Here he is. Morris trying to glance it on for Malouda. It's a nice idea. There's a lot of that. Tronkowski almost caught in possession by Morris.
Well, Jody done some nice things. He's also done some horrendous things as well. I'm sure he'll...
Beloved of these parts because he came through from these parts, of course, and nearly not far off 200 appearances.
Well, if you follow him on social media, he's a boy that had a dream, you know. He was not far from the North End Road down that way. Born and bred a Chelsea fan. To play for your club that you support, I was lucky enough to do the same.
And then to coach it.
And then to coach and do what he's done as well, absolutely.
No, not many get to do that.
No, you're absolutely
Support,
right.
play a lot and coach. Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty special. Loose ball, JT steps in. Chance if Essien can get on his bike. Come on, Michael.
Essien, get moving. Malouda needs an option. Here is Essien. Oh, that was worth a hit. Maybe not. Ramirez, 4 in the box. Can he find a teammate? Oh, it's a good ball! Michael Essien at the shed end. Great cross, great finish. Chelsea won by 0. Fabulous and totally deserved. Essien leaps and knocks in. Maybe not the best goal Stamford Bridge has ever seen, like his one here against Barcelona was, but it wasn't bad.
Well, it starts from JT, actually. I don't know how far back we're going to go and see the highlight of the goal, but JT steps in, it's a sloppy pass. And once then...
The Bison.
Yeah, once JT steps in, he then plays the ball out to Michael. Ball goes out to Ramirez. It's a lovely ball in. By the way, that's
a good jump.
By the way, that's better than I thought.
He's got well up there, hang time, Michael Essien.
He's leapt, hung, and directed. That's all about that. There's not a huge amount of pace on the cross. He's had to generate. Do you know, I can see in his face. He knows this is a good goal. He knows that's a good header. That's not a tap-in. There was a lot of work to be done. Lovely cross from Ramirez on the right-hand side. It's all about the neck muscles. You then got to generate more power and pace, not just from the cross, but you've got to add to it. When you see, you've got the neck the size of him as well, by the way. It's like a birthday cake. Huge neck. You're extending those neck muscles.
Super header, really was, and that familiar Essien smile. Such a quiet bloke. Even when you're having a conversation with him, you sometimes have to ask him to raise his voice. He's so softly spoken, but a bull of a competitor, not a bull, a bison, as he was always called at Lyon. And
injuries, Ben, when I went international duty.
Yep.
And on the knee, never the same player again, unfortunately. We were robbed, I'm afraid, and at that time, of course, when I know the game you're going to say, what do you think when you think of Essien?
Well, Barcelona there, yeah. Arsenal here.
Arsenal here.
Tommy Langley screaming all over the microphone and the distortion. 86th minute, I'll even tell you that Mathieu Flamini had got the Arsenal goal. Weird things you remember, isn't it? We needed that, and that's one of the reasons that incredible Mourinho home run. You remember his record for Porto, then Chelsea and beyond, went on for so long. There are a handful only of occasions where it nearly went, and that Essien goal was one of the ones that stopped it going. Yes. Oh, what a goal. That late fade on the ball, and the TV angle of it, gorgeous, right up there.
Yes, you need the camera behind him to really appreciate, otherwise you just don't appreciate what... It started off target.
Youngsters, if you don't know what I'm talking about when you're watching this game back, make sure you watch that one back. Here's Gallas, onside, tight angle, bit of an air shot, bit of fight ball in the Bayern box. Chelsea the better side here. Deservedly.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea totally dominating. Gallas enjoying down that right-hand side there. Oh, lovely.
Lovely switch, chance for two. Starker makes a big stop. Surely Michael Essien's not scoring two in a game. Surely.
I can't recall that he ever did.
No, yeah, he was a 1 in 10 guy. He's a 1 in 10 guy. He got Ramirez bends another one in for Kalou's on the dive. That's a brilliant piece of defending. Van Boyten down there. What a stop that is.
JT stepping in.
Hit it. Malouda. He sort of had to take that. I think Terry would have hit it. Oh, he's only gone and scored. He's only gone and scored. He kept on running. He kept his position. He stayed on side, and it's an empty net for 2-0. Captain, leader, legend, and goal scorer. I'm going to call that his 68th for Chelsea.
Well, it had a hand in the first goal. The highlight won't show you that, but it has a hand in the second, more than just the goal. He steps in and wins it again. He's on his toes, nips in front. Malouda's on the left-hand side. JT continues his run. Malouda then just goes on the outside. As he does, it's an overlapping run from JT. He cuts on the left-hand side, drills it across towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Because JT's continued his run, he just toes it into the empty net. The goalkeeper is anticipating he's going to pick it up. And right in front of the shed end. What a moment. We can tell, look at his face. Just look at his face.
Somebody wonderful, Dame Barry Davis once said. He's still grinning now as Bayern kick off. He's got the Holy Trinity, a goal, an assist and a clean sheet. I'd get off now and let the berth on if I was you, JT.
Like I said, he had a hand. The first goal was given away. It's a sloppy pass, but he's read it. Steps in.
Well, he's ready. And he's talking, as usual, constantly. Leboeuf on the bench. A lot to live up to.
Do you know what would be fascinating to see, Ben? And it wouldn't work, I know, but should you put just JT in the Chelsea team next Saturday? Do you know what I mean? I mean, I know he's older and he's not as fit, but do you know what I mean?
Well, Thiago Silva.
I know.
It's not that far.
No, he's not, but just
well, how quickly... Well, you know more than me, mate. How quickly does it go when you don't play anymore?
It goes quickly, especially at this level. I done my UEFA B coaching badge with Stevie Clark with the under-18s here many years ago. and I wasn't retired. A huge, lovely tackle from Jody Morris in the middle of the park. And Chelsea have won it again. There's a bit more of an energy about Chelsea being the better side throughout the whole game. There's no question that Chelsea's energy. But I've got to say, Ben, when I coached the sessions, I would join in some of the five-a-sides.
And you were not long retired at this point.
Not huge.
What, a year or two?
Yeah.
Right.
The pace of the game. That's what fans don't realise. It's the pace, the quickness, the way how things move.
So you need some legs next year. Mind you, Thiago Silva's got that. Here's Mikel, no foul. Solomon Kalou. Not for long though.
Yeah, but these were under 18. These are the youth team players I was playing with. But even so, and you can imagine what it'll be like at the highest levels. It's the quickness of the game. And yes, I think it's fair to say, Ben, we're watching a bit of a slower pace game out there tonight.
Well, I'd hope so. And yes, it is. You're pretty sure that Kale and Terry would be a fine defensive partnership at some level of the football pyramid. Morris able to stride out. Mikel spreading it. Good ball. Appreciated by the Stamford Bridge crowd.
Jody won it again.
He really does, doesn't
do you know
he?
what?
Come and give me the ball. Give me the ball.
But that was Jody as a player, wasn't it? He wanted to make the game tick. He wanted to be the conductor of the orchestra. He wanted to control the tempo, come and get the ball. Technically a brilliant footballer. Size, despite the fact he's not. We all know Jody's not tall. Said never. If you're good enough, you're good enough. Simple as that.
Yeah, there's a chap called Zola on the Chelsea bench.
Yes, indeed, there are. And of course, modern day, I think of Billy Gilmore. He was tiny little fella, but no.
Andre Mariner, eyes on you for stoppage time. Nicely worked this, actually. And Bertrand has Morris popping up on the left side, and he's carried on running. Ryan Bertrand, right, get in the middle, give him a target. Corner if there's time, and I think there will be. But the Shed End has seen 2 goals already. Time to squeeze in one more.
Maybe. It's going to be an in-swinger. Gary Cahill loves a goal from a set piece. Spurs away.
Yes. Starker comes a long way. That's a good collection, that. Pizarro dropping deep.
He has dropped deep.
He's dropped so deep, he's the last man back. One of those rare players who's really been loved everywhere he's gone, Claudio Pizarro. Spiritual home is Bremen, where he is every kind of record holder, Werder Bremen. Played against them for Chelsea, funnily enough, and Champions League draw always does that. But Bayern and Chelsea too. Always very popular at Cobham as well. Intelligent fella. Absolute gent.
Just watching Mikel there, honestly, it's so... I've watched that little movement, reading the pass going, but you think, God, it's bizarre to watch that again in a blue shirt here at Stamford Bridge, where he's read the pass and scampers. He didn't really travel a lot of distance, he's never known for his pace, or never known for his... But he would read the game incredibly well, Mikel.
Yeah, you don't play nearly 400 times under that many different managers, and what you and I will have heard and did hear on a lot of phone-ins and a lot of shows, people questioning it, but
divided opinion.
All those managers picked him. He's played well here, and so has the current number 26, Levi Colwell. Apologies to you. A smiling John Terry has helped make the first goal that was brilliantly headed in by Michael Essien, who, shall we say, is dragging himself off, drenched in sweat more than you've ever seen. He got the first, Terry got the second, and they're all going to cool down. Well played, boys. We expect some changes after the break, and that break is coming now. Yes, it's half an hour each way. Half-time at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 2, Bayern Munich 0, and the Blues absolutely deserve it. No penalties required tonight, folks. Right then, I would say what will the second 45 bring us, but they'll only be 30. But it's going to be a trophy at the end of it when Chelsea play Bayern Munich. That is what should happen, and that is what hopefully will happen. Second half coming up here, tons more quality on the bench, and rather remiss of Jason and I not to pick up on the fact that John Terry scored in the 26th minute, having, remember, come off in his final appearance, of course, in the 26th minute. Typical him.
I have to say, looking back, when he played his last game, there was a little bit of a... it was all... I mean, even the opposition players and the referee were clapping him off. I mean, what's that? It was a Premier League football match. However, certain players deserve certain privileges, and maybe that's just been afforded to it. But you're absolutely right, Ben. And I just listened to Joe there and Lee talking about JT, and we spoke about it. Just wondered with him. He looks so good. It's an enormous grade. I'll let you tell the news there, Ben.
This is our ref cam. Andre Mariner has this on for us tonight. Yeah, never mind your Rugby World Cup. We've got this too. I was watching John Harley warming up, and I missed the attendance, Jason.
34,800 and something.
That is fantastic.
That's astonishing. And you know, you look around. Mid-30s is what we guessed at, but it's an astonishing turnout. And well done, everyone. Honestly, well done. And like you said, Ben, there, it's the players really, because if you have the likes of me on the list, there's no one people to. But you've got to hand it to the likes of JT, and there's some of these boys would have travelled thousands of miles to be here today.
And we're going to see plenty of substitutions here. John Harley's coming on. I've seen Sam Hutchinson, who's let his hair grow. There is, I do believe, is that Claude Makelele? Yes, it is Claude Makelele. John Harley is wearing number 34. I thought that couldn't be right, that Claude Makelele would be wearing that number. Sam Hutch still playing at Reading. And Gianfranco Zola teasing us, but now going back to sit down behind Tor Andre Flo. Michael Essien looked absolutely shattered when he walked off at half-time, so the huge grin of Claude Makelele has replaced him in Chelsea's central midfield. What a player. How many people have a role named after them? Reid Muller's on in goal for Bayern, by the way. He's replaced Tom Starker. They'll be making plenty of changes too. I should just say, Claude Makelele's stats, 217 appearances. Tell me if you can remember how many goals Jason Cundy.
I can name you 2.
There aren't any others. The tapping off the missed penalty,
yes,
and the Spurs worldie. Yes,
indeed. And also, what's probably missed amongst all this is the shot against Arsenal at the Highbury, where we get the equaliser. That was his shot that came in.
And Frank Lampard.
Yeah.
Very good.
That was his shot.
That's a very good point. It was. So thank God he couldn't shoot. So therefore, that might not have gone the same way. Before Wayne Bridge.
Ben, the penalty was hilarious. I'm pretty sure you and I done the commentary.
Yes.
It was away in the Matthew Harding lower.
Awful.
And he missed, and the crowd have gone, ugh. And then of course it spilt, and he come back and the rebound he scored. So actually, it didn't actually score a penalty. It was in, I suppose it was.
No, it's a goal from open play.
Open play
counts as a goal from open play.
The Spurs one as well, though. It's an absolute screamer.
Picked up by Sam Hutch, who may not have played anywhere near as many times, but would have played plenty more had he been able to stay fit for sure. And should I just say, absolutely down the road, Windsor boy, Chelsea family right the way through. No one was prouder to put on the blue shirt than Sam Hutchinson, and he'll be thrilled to do it again tonight.
Ben, I worked with Sam on Chelsea TV when he retired, and he was looking for a new career, didn't know where his career was going to go. He'd had to forced to retire through a knee injury. Anyway,
here's Kalou. That's a good ball, splitting past. I think it was from Hutchinson. Kalou showing the fancy footwork. He's all on his own. He needs a bit of help. It didn't arrive. Bayern have dealt with it, and that is a filthy foul. Ramirez late to the party.
Yeah, I love the fact that when these games like this, it's actually not a great tackle that from Ramirez at all, in all honesty. Do you know what? It's a yellow card, by the way. It's a yellow card all day long. The referee.
I think you can get sent off in a Legends match. I suppose you can.
Well,
Do you think Andre Mariner's got cards in his pocket? We know he's got a camera. But genuinely, it's a terrible foul.
It's late, it's high.
Genuine question: are there cards in that pocket? Do you reckon?
Well, do you know
Or
what?
do you think he just says to the manager, "Oh, get him off. He's getting cross."
Do you know what? I wonder if there'll be some ironic, funny cheers if there was a yellow card pulled out. You know, there might have been a little bit of that.
They're good. Here come Chelsea again. 2-0 up, the better side. Mikel.
No, we
They
can't.
said shoot. That's where we hit it from.
Yes.
His first goal, Macclesfield in
FA
the
Cup,
cup.
FA Cup.
Macclesfield, and he hit. Oh, he got his laces behind it, like as good as any ball has ever been struck. And yeah, then he scored 5 more in about 120 years. We were getting excited then. Michael Woods played in that match, Chelsea's 4th youngest ever debutant, and I was commentating with the 3rd youngest, Tommy Langley at the time. 16.
Wowzers, we signed him from Leeds.
I know where Tommy is now. I don't know where Michael Woods is now. Hope he's all right. Lovely boy. Anyway, we digress. Rankovic forward into Paulo Sousa, who's able to turn. Disappointing touch that from that's Roy Mackay. They brought on up top. The Dutchman who sounds Scottish. Nice little touch in field, but it didn't go anywhere from Tronkowski. So I should just say, Hilario's in goal, and John Harley for Ryan Bertrand at left back. Is that change? And Terry Cahill still there, and I do believe you know the right back pretty well.
Mr. Sinclair. One of my oldest mates in football, Frankie. Yeah. First met Frank when I was probably 12. A chance.
Look at him go, Hutch, go on! What a stop that is from Reid Muller. Sam Hutchinson, midfield maestro. It's no coincidence, folks. I can say it now, Bayern have got the ball. It's no coincidence that the lad who is still able to play, even though he's not a midfielder, has been put in midfield.
Yeah, and yes, you can see there the way he danced, and I use the word deliberately, danced his way through. Pace, power, sharpness, and it's just the, I said earlier, didn't I, Ben, in there? It's just the pace.
He'll like this because he is amongst superstar footballers, and he's going to look better than all of them. Because he's just done that. Yeah. He's just done that as if he's Jude Bellingham. Kalou appreciates the intention of the pass.
Lucio just sitting coming out the back there. It's the runs, Ben. You know, even they look so familiar. Just the body shape, the run there, the gait, the way they move with the ball is that. Of course, why would it change? Of course, it's not. But
it just creaks a bit more. But
just,
orally speaking, it changes, but visually it doesn't. Here's Sinclair.
Oh, Frankie!
That's a terrible ball.
Come on,
Frank.
Francis.
He's also getting a message later
on.
I'm first pass.
He's getting it. He's getting it.
And
still a
anything
fit boy,
about
though.
them, they might be. Well, yes.
Still a fit boy, Frank.
He played for a good while, didn't he, at the non-league level?
Yes, he did. Still very much carving a career in coaching as well. He's a lovely kid, Frank. They go back a very long way.
He's got to come out here and do a bit of marking because Diego Contento, who is on, has put in a brilliant cross.
Frank's got to get out quicker, Ben.
Near post header.
Ben, he's labouring. Frank's labouring. He's off the bench. Frank, come on. I mean, I don't want to have a pop at my mates here, but come on, Francis, get yourself out quicker.
Good header that from Van Boyten.
Yeah, shoot at the target, really. He's free header.
I mean, he's beyond the near post. I tell you, someone we've seen here a lot over the years who'd be good at that. Olivier. Hutchinson.
He's still
nice.
He's still fit.
He is. He's got there, and he's got there again. And Kalou's touch has not deserted him. Early ball, Mikel. Eyes in the, not quite the back of his head, but on the left side. Here's John Harley.
Just as you said Kalou there, I remember a header he scored away at Watford. Night game.
Funny the things that pop in. All the things you need to know in your life about where you've left your keys and when's your wife's birthday and all that sort of thing. But you remember Solomon Kalou popping up with a header at Watford.
Away at Vicarage Road, yeah.
Football's ridiculous, isn't it? John Terry with a little growl has booted it, and he's been coming.
Yes, there you go.
There's the answer. Trey Mariner. Panto stuff at Stamford Bridge.
I did say that's the only scenario that I can see where you do it.
He pulled him back. By the letter of the law, it's a caution.
By the way, it's 2 yellows.
Oh, because he booted it afterwards.
He's lucky to be on the pitch.
He is lucky to be on the pitch, because the pullback is a caution in itself.
Yeah, that's a foul. And then that is absolutely a... Yeah, Andre Mariner, well done.
Well, a little bit lenient. Terry should be off.
Lucky boy, Terry.
Then it really would be like Munich if you're playing without him.
Yes.
I know he's still on. I reckon those two could play at a very high level together.
Bayern have been actually a bit better the second half. You know. There's a little bit more... I don't know, there just feels a bit more of a purpose about the game. I wasn't convinced first half that they were too bothered.
That was Thomas Linker, German international, with the former, I should say, if that wasn't obvious, with the shot. Ref cam. You couldn't have this in the Premier League, although...
it's coming, Ben.
Well...
It's coming.
Well, then there's going to be some serious cards dished out for rudeness. Andre Mariner, the hunchback of Stamford Bridge. Little extra kit for him there.
Yes. So you think about it, what a lovely job for him as well.
Retired now, I should have mentioned that earlier. He's no longer a Premier League ref, so yeah, great to come and not be abused for a start.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a long way out in every sense. The distance, the angle, and wide of the mark.
You can only imagine if Anthony Taylor had booked Thiago Silva. You can only imagine what the stadium would have sounded like. Yet there's ironic cheers and laughter and giggles. Hilarious.
That was Van Boyten again, who had that header close early in this half. Harley in field.
Frank's wide right here. If you get the ball out to Frank.
Yeah.
Like
Big switch is on.
It is on. He's still a fit boy, Frank.
And he's always pacey as a player.
Yeah.
Harley with the cutback. This is promising. Hutchinson lays it off. Nice looking curler from Florian Malouda that's beaten out by Reid Muller. And it's a corner.
Yeah, nicely worked on the left-hand side. There's lots of movement in front. In the end, Sam just finds Malouda, shifts it, bodies around him. Not enough pace to really trouble the goalkeeper. In the end, he goes safety first.
Nice shape, though. It's definitely curling in.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you're never sure how quickly the keepers will get down to shots now that they are older. That's a different thing as well. And it comes not far enough for Hutchinson or Cahill. Ramirez, go on!
I thought
he really looked like he was going to.
Why not? Why not, Ben?
2-0 up. There's no points on the line. There is a trophy, though. Chelsea just trying to click into gear again. Overhit.
See right there is enough.
Mikel.
Yeah, that is Mikel also. How many times we just see him just don't... come on, Mikel, you're better. Some subs about to be made.
Well, Leboeuf demanding to come on. Flo is there. And we've seen a couple of young Chelsea left-backs. We've got another one there. Danny Granville. A lot of tonight is about Stuttgart, the 25th anniversary as well. That's obviously a big Gianluca factor in that. Oh, Vicenza, and that celebration full time when he's waving his arm around. And he scored that header. No, his cross. Sorry, no, Mark Hughes scored the goal. But there was the Zola Vialli bullet header, cross and header. And Danny Granville played in that final in Stuttgart. Gianfranco came off the bench that night. He's still a little bit bitter about it. One of the last times I spoke to Zola was a while ago, and he was annoyed that he wasn't picked. So there was some bite in that celebration. Yeah. We'll come back to that in a minute, because we are seeing the changes here. And Danny Granville is on. Tore Andre Flo is going to replace Florian Malouda. He's a striker who's been heavily involved with the club for a long time since, of course. Torre, coaching at the academy, and
lovely man.
Still lives nearby.
Yeah, see him often here around Stamford Bridge, and frequently bump into him at some stage throughout the season.
given that you've been asking these questions all night, if I say to you Tore Andre Flo, I think of two things. You can tell me after this Chelsea attack what springs up for you. Here's Claude Makelele. Not had many touches since he came on. Oh dear. I'll tell Claude later that you called him Makelele with batteries. N'Golo Conte will bring that up. But yeah, he's taken that position on. Sam Hutch seeing plenty of the ball here. Flo offering short and towards Kalou, who's stayed on since the beginning. Here's Sinclair. How's his cross this time? Come on, Frank, what you got? That's a better ball, but it wasn't the greatest bit of control, actually, by Harley in there. It was. What's the left back doing? Oh, he's gone up there because Danny Granville's gone to left back. You're supposed to spot these tactical switches.
There's a space on the... They're all over the place, to be honest with you.
Yeah, John Harley's in midfield with Sam Hutch and Claude Makelele. Danny Granville's gone left back.
Frank Kalou's on the right now. Kalou was down the middle.
McKelly's asking if he can make up a back three with Terry and Cahill. Now, it's going to be too far, is it? Just for Tronkowski to get to at the shed end. So go on then, Tore Andre Flo, what are you saying?
I've got the snow. I can see a game in the snow, Ben.
Oh, right, you're thinking Tromso.
Yes, that's where I've gone.
Oh, I think of Luca with that orange ball in the snow, and
there's that as well.
Dreadlocks covered in snow, thinking, what have I done here? All right, well, for Flo, I think Barcelona.
Yes, of course, yes, yeah.
That tie when Figo scored right at the end, but on the way to 3-0.
It did. Oh dear.
That
was probably the goal that knocked us out, even though we got well beaten.
Yeah.
In
after extra time.
Yes, indeed, but that was probably the goal that got us knocked out.
So in the shed end they are dreaming, said Peter Drury when Flo stuck it in.
Yes.
But also the other one would be the hat-trick in the 6 in the Christian Gross Tottenham match.
Yes.
And here Flo got 3 of them at least. Did he get 4? He definitely got 3. And 6-1, I think it was. Ramon Vega playing for Spurs, and Christian Gross had his tube ticket. Remember him?
I do.
Oh, given away cheap. Here is Flo wearing his number 19, as he always did, Mikel, into Kalou.
Oh, sort your first touch out, Kalou. It's difficult. It was he had plenty of time and space there to get his first touch. Sometimes players like that, when you've got too much time, that can be a little bit of a problem. You've got so much time, no one's around you. You're actually thinking about what you're going to do with the ball before you've actually got it under control.
Calm from Cahill and Terry. Look at that, and Terry just making sure that Thomas Linker isn't allowed to get in the way. Mikel, nice, really nice.
Still looks good, Mikel, doesn't he?
He does, and I was thinking his face doesn't look one day older, and he's trim, which can't be said about all of them out there. But I have to say, there's no one who's really burgeoning.
No, I have to say, the vast majority of the boys we're watching out here, they still look fit. Okay, look, there's a little bit of extra timber. There's a thing that was quick, but I have to say, I tell you now, I've seen some ex-pros go out in charity games, mate. That they're actually lining up in the mascots. You know, they have to borrow Stamford shorts. That's that size of waistband. Now these boys look fit.
And Mikel's definitely still got it. As you look at him down there now, he looks like a professional athlete. And, finished up in Turkey last I saw.
Really strange scenario how he joined Chelsea. He actually done a presser in a Manchester United shirt, and they claimed that they'd signed him, and then of course days later he rocks up at Stamford Bridge in a Chelsea shirt.
Good decision. Not a good cross, bent in by Contento.
Great decision, but what a strange scenario that was. It looks like there's going to be some more subs.
And a water break.
Yes.
It is a drinks break, and I'm just going to tell you a quick Solomon Kalou story that I made a quick reference to earlier, and I'm suddenly aware that people might not know what I'm talking about. This is a legacy from the days of being at Cobham. They had a lovely canteen with incredible food, everything you could ever want. You and I enjoyed it every now and then, Mr. Cundy. Solomon Kalou was never seen in there, and I realised this after a good few months. I'd never seen him upstairs playing pool, eating, drinking, anything. I said to him one day, "What? You're never there?" He said, "I always just leave training and go straight to McDonald's." Every day. Outrageous. Let's go downstairs. Lee Parker is with the Bison.
Thanks very much, Ben. Yes, I am. I'm here with Goal Machine, Michael Essien. Michael, talk us through that header.
The whole stadium is
He's getting shy. Come back here. Come on. They love you, Michael. Do we love Michael Essien? Michael, you've not lost a beat. That was a fantastic first half and a terrific goal.
I mean, we're here for a good cause and also to celebrate our late Gianluca Vialli. So, and yeah, I think we had a great first half and I managed to score the first goal. So yeah, all good.
Listen to this ovation. They love you, Michael. How special is it for you to be here and to hear this once again?
Thanks a lot. I really appreciate the support. And yeah, once a blue, always a blue. So yeah, happy to be back home.
And we love having you back. Stamford Bridge once again. Let's hear it for the brilliant Michael Essien.
Carlo Cudicini enters the fray, and I'm sure he won't mind me saying, because Lee Parker has broadcast it across the PA system here several times tonight already, but 3 days ago Carlo turned the big 5-0, Milan boy, and super close to lovely Luca, and taking his place with his number 23 at the shed end. We were genuinely blessed, because he was, for my money, he was the best keeper around. And then Pedicek came along. There was another little Italian wearing 20-something doing some boots up down there. And I'm not talking about Gigi Casiraghi, who is also here. Zola's on the big screen, folks. That's the Raw. Teasing, or is he doing it?
He's warming up, can you believe that?
Someone's going to have to come off, because he's not coming on just yet, because Chelsea have got 10 outfielders out there and a new keeper. Gianfranco Zola down towards the Matthew Harding end. If he's not careful, though, he may never leave it, because if they get him in there, the cuddles will go all night. But play continues.
Well, definitely teasing the crowd, Ben. Do you want to start your Carlo Cudicini? What do you think of when you see Carlo? I've not done my mate Frank, by the way, as well. Can I just say, first game of the season against Coventry.
What did Frank do?
Scored, pulled his shorts down.
Oh, was that? Oh, sorry. Right, I thought you. Not his first game. Sorry. No, the first game of the season.
Yeah, first game of the season.
Yeah, no, amazing.
Yeah. He got heavily fined for that.
It's still one of the most brilliant, incongruous goal celebrations that's ever happened. It's sort of rubbish and brilliant at the same time.
Yes. And it's one of those you still see occasionally. I don't know whether it's been censored because, but yes, there is the odd occasion. Maybe I've not seen it on Sky, maybe on social media, but
brilliant, love him, and he's making a little move here. He's one of the Chelsea players in the box. Is Danny Granville looking for Mikel, and that's gone wrong. And I would say there'd be a breakaway. It depends on the Bayern pace.
Frank's got a bit of. There he goes, Frank. There he puts the afterburners on. There he goes. There's the pace of Frank that I know so well. Cudicini, what's your memories? What's the game you think of with Carlo, Ben? There's several.
A tip over the bar against Tottenham from a Jamie Redknapp free kick is my favourite save of his.
Oh, I've got another one against Spurs.
Oh, what are you giving me?
Berbatov, last minute, 4-4.
Oh!
That, for me, that comes out.
Right.
It was 4-4, right?
It was 4-4, Robbie Keane and all that. And do you know why that doesn't spring to my mind? I wasn't doing that game because the Youth Cup were playing and I was covering the very rare Youth Cup on the same night as the first team.
He's in.
He is in. Cudicini, how's your pace? It's good enough, all right on cue, mind you. The goal's open. Terry had to make that challenge, or the lob was on.
Yes, he did. There's a break on here for Chelsea. The ball was played. It's a lovely ball, actually, splitting the defence, but Carlo was off his line. I have to say, I mean, Carlo there, he may be 50, but wow, he well.
Still got it. Here's Flo. Oh, referee says no penalty. Flo goes down, a little bit soft, but can I just say, not only has Carlo still got it, he is still the most handsome devil.
He is. And also,
it's obscene.
And also, obviously, I never knew Carlo. I never played with Carlo, but I've got to know him pretty well. He is lovely man. I mean, you know, he's a. I know you often hear people say that but he is genuinely just a really lovely fella.
Leboeuf is warming up with, I would say, almost vigour now. He's threatening to break into a jog on this near touchline, Frank Leboeuf. There he is. Definitely Coventry City for Frank Leboeuf, by the way. That absolute screamer in the aeroplane celebration with the arms out wide. Nice from Mikel. Here's Flo. He's got options to his left. Danny Granville. It was early. Was it open day? Granville still can't find a teammate. Bayern need a response here. It's not coming, and they haven't got long to get it. Pizarro on the turn. Dietecher taking over. He's come on at some point during this half. Still wondering when we're going to see Zola and Leboeuf. Gigi Kaziragi as well, by the way. Who else haven't we seen? Ida!
Oh, my word!
Well, Carlo standing and watching that one, and it came to his call when he needed it most.
Rooted, absolutely rooted, Ben. Bounces off the crossbar. It's a little dink. Serves a goal, that.
Harold Cheney?
Serves a goal. God, those faces.
Look how cool. No problem.
No.
Chew the gum. I knew that was not a shot on target, which of course it isn't.
His body fat is the same as when he played on it.
Zola warming up. Leboeuf warming up. Hutchinson dinking it out nonchalantly. Now Makaleli. Down to our left, because they're part of obviously the presentation committee here this evening. We've the Vialli family, Gianluca's wife Catherine and his daughters Olivia and Sophia, making their way around the perimeter of the field, just behind Frank Leboeuf there, and Robbie. Oh, nice little layoff.
Yeah.
Didn't quite work.
No, the pace and the pass need a little bit more on the pass. He just flicked it inside there. Is it Sam that was going to get on the end of it? Chance here, Bayern. Looking a bit more adventurous, and you know.
Tronkowski's still fit. He started the match, and he's still on here. In from left back. That's his ricochet. Makaleli mopping up.
Yeah, and indeed, and you're right. And Cahill there wanted to keep. Is he on a clean sheet bonus?
He might be. I wonder if he had that written into the contract. Gigi, Frank and Gianfranco coming soon. What a ball that is! No flag. Is it going to be 3-0? Oh, he had big ideas there, John Harley.
Stay on your left side. You've managed to get yourself a little bit of space. He's cut inside and. Who knows how you can tell that one.
Left foot. He got 2 Chelsea goals, did John? But could he have spanked it? He had his time again. Maybe he'd take it on the left. 2-0 it remains. Final few minutes here on a balmy evening with an L at Stamford Bridge. Well in, Frank Sinclair. Great defending from Franco. The other Franco,
indeed.
Well, in fact, two Francos about to come on here. And oh, good. We are going to see Thiago Mendes. I was looking forward to seeing him.
Yeah, you'd be very disappointed, Ben, if you turned up for a game of this size and gave your time and you stayed on the bench, you didn't get off. I mean, you often hear the expression, I'll be knocking on the manager's door. I tell you what, you'd be phoning him, messaging Robbie. What are you thinking of, man?
Well, they are going to get on, but there's one person. There is one I haven't seen yet.
Ida.
Indeed. Favourite number 22.
Well, maybe he's just not as fit. Oh, great ball!
Mikel, what a pass for Kalou, come on! Oh, he's put it wide, which almost seems perfect.
So Kalou. And then the brilliant ball from Mikel on this right-hand side, beautifully weighted. Just hit the
it's a cheeky idea, and it's very close. Solomon, come on, mate.
Yeah, score. Just score. He smiles though. That's the thing about Kalou.
Jose Mourinho's watching our broadcast today somewhere, and he's going, typical Solomon Kalou. Typical Kalou.
Should have been a penalty, by the way, in the San Siro when we played them.
I think you've heard who's coming on, folks. There's never been a number 25 at Chelsea since he left, and I hope there never will be. There's one of those shirts hanging in my room at home, signed on the day he left. The greatest of all, Gianfranco Zola. I put an asterisk by that because some people would like to say John Terry, Frank Lampard, Peter Osgood, and that is absolutely fair enough.
Yep.
But he's magic and he's on the field. So is Gigi Kaziragi, a player we saw all too little because of a horrible injury. But I know what I'm thinking of with him. Phil Babb's Phil Babb's knackers on the goalpost, folks. Look it up. Kaziragi, Liverpool.
Yes.
Say no more. He is on. Injury robbed him of more of a career.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Thiago Mendes, who Michael Essien essentially. Speaking of Jose Mourinho, when Michael Essien came, Jose said, Thiago Mendes said, I want to play more, and I said, I've bought Essien, and he's a monster, and he's in your position, and I'll love to have you here, Thiago. But you can, Essien's back on, John Harley's going off. And Thiago Mendes, Jose said to Thiago, I'd love to have you here if you want to stay, but I understand if you want to play more, and he left. He's another lovely fella, Thiago Mendes.
What do you think of when you think of him, Thiago?
Oh, Roy Carroll getting absolutely done from about 30 yards out.
Yes, last game of the season, I seem to remember. And Jose's reaction was...
Yeah,
what?
Astonished.
What?
I think Thiago's reaction was astonished.
Yes.
Laced it, 30 yards, top corner, and Roy Carroll beating all ends up.
Yeah, it was yes, when you say 30 yards, Ben,
I might have understated it.
You might have done. Yes, there might have been a couple of digits after that.
Chelsea got this one sewn up. Just manage the game now. I want to see some cramp. I want to see some time wasting. I want to see some ball in the corner flag. Let's do this the right way, boys, and keep that sheet clean. It nearly wasn't from the shot earlier that came off Kudicini's bar. That took a flick on the way through, though. Bayern have a corner.
Go on, Zola. What's the game?
Cech's got his clean sheet incident. Oh, Zola, there's too many.
I mean, I know there's two. I mean, I'm thinking Wimbledon FA Cup semi-final at Highbury. The goal down here against Norwich FA Cup. I mean, both FA Cups, I know. There's also the skill he done down in front of
Jamie Carragher.
Jamie Carragher and Danny Murphy.
Twisted about 15 times. In comes the Bayern corner, out it goes. Good, solid header. Gary Cahill, by the way, could definitely play high-level football. He's not been long retired. Oh, my goodness, what is happening here? How's your distribution, Makelele? Frank Sinclair making ground on the right. We need a pass. We've got one. Zola, shoot. Oh, what a scoop! Gary Cahill, it's going to be a goal though. Thiago Mendes, Gary Cahill, 3-0, and Franco made it with a scoop.
It was Sunderland for Poyet.
It was
almost exactly the same area, Ben. It was almost identical for Gus Poyet. Same end.
Best moment of the night so far, apart from Nessun Dorma with the family out, I would add. But on field, Gianfranco Zola on the pitch, scoops it over the top.
It was muscle memory. That's exactly what we've just seen there. Gianfranco, it's identical, Ben. Ben, it's identical.
Next question, what is Gary Cahill doing there? Because it was a counter-attack and he's one of the younger blokes.
Yes.
Why is Gary Cahill up top?
Who knows? He's the one that sets it back. Ben.
I love you. What a player. Just beautiful.
It is, but do you know what? Anyway, it's Bayern, by the way.
Hang on, well, they're beaten for sure.
Clean sheet.
Clean sheet.
Frank Sinclair, Frank started it on the right-hand side. Makelele stepping into the middle of the park.
How lovely that we've watched a goal tonight through the ages a bit. To start with Frank Sinclair, Makelele, Cahill, Zola, Kaziragi, Cahill. Lovely.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Well, that's what these games do, Ben.
They
take you back.
Combinations that would never have happened.
No, like a bit of a time machine we just stepped into.
Can I say, a lot more fun than watching Chelsea versus Forest here the other day.
Ain't that the truth?
Makelele. Oh, look at that.
Never known anyone until I saw N'Golo Kante to smell and danger before it even
Before the Oppo had thought
before
of
it stunk. Yeah, he would position himself into areas of the pitch where he would realise and see what danger potentially could he have to avert, and at times I see him just step in. You don't do that by coincidence.
Frank Sinclair had a chance to bomb on there. Thiago Mendes is making a run, he's onside. It's a brilliantly timed run! Oh, that's the goal of the night! Did you see how deep he came from? That is absolutely brilliant. That would grace at any pitch, at any level, any time. Never mind the vets. 4-0. That is the pick of the bunch. Glorious.
Football will never change, Ben. It's about the first touch. It's a brilliant run, it's a brilliant ball, and they're enjoying it. Christophe Lolichon there with Di Matteo, and it's the pass again. It's just a little lofted pass from Ben, the first touch.
Oh.
Football never changes. If you don't have a first touch, you won't have a career. It's a lovely,
so well timed, but look at that ball. Essien's
yes,
goal and assist. Oh, we've seen some cheeky scoops. Thiago Mendes take the bow. Right on full time as well. Zola was only on for a few minutes. He helped make 2 goals. Chelsea have beaten Bayern by 4 goals to 0. It's been cracking entertainment. The Oppo haven't scored, the Blues legends have. Terry in the 26th minute, Michael Essien leaping to bullet home a header. We've seen nearly 24 former Blues favourites. And it's been an absolute pleasure for a bumper crowd on a warm night at Stamford Bridge, and a game that Luca would have loved to watch and play in and score in. Perfect night all round, Mr. Cundy.
Indeed, when you come to these events, you know what you're coming to see, but also you want to see a bit of that old magic. You know what, mate? We know what these boys had under the bonnet when they played, and the little flick from Gianfranco Zola, and we've had a little bit of everything, Ben. Captain leader legend scoring. Michael Essien with a header. Wowzers. Gary Cahill, what's he doing up there? The flick pass from Gianfranco Zola. Sunderland away, Sunderland here I should say, where Gus Poyet scored that immaculate volley. Shades of that.
August 2000, younger fans. I'm aware Jason and I have referenced a fair few things this evening that might not stick in some people's memories because of your age, but definitely look around for those. Well, we've got presentations coming soon. We've also got a few stewards and a little bit of silliness. Let's really not do that. Zola and Gallas down there just getting into it. So Cahill and Terry, clean sheet and a goal each.
Yeah, could have cheated, clean sheet.
No, but they both scored.
Yeah, goal.
You realise they both scored and kept a clean sheet, and John Terry's helped with a goal. So they are going to be chirping. Can we put the band back together?
Has there ever been some rather disappointing scenes here? Fans.
Yeah. Don't make it about you, mate, whatever you do. Get off the field. Anyway, I don't even want to give them the airtime, and we're not going to.
Has there ever been a game, Ben, and I can't think of one, where John Terry and Gary Cahill scored in the same game?
Oh, now you've got me.
I know. Our memory between the pair of us.
I wouldn't be overly surprised. A 4-0 thumping. Take that, Bayern. Didn't need an Arjen Robben penalty. Didn't need late heroics from Drogba. Thomas Muller, your boys took one hell of a beating. Is that man of the match? He has been. Of course he has. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him playing here at 50 and 10 years from now in a Legends match. He's still looking good.
Of course not. And they're going round, the Chelsea lads just going round towards the Matthew Harding end, just applauding.
These are lovely moments to savour, and there'll be a few down there who, for one reason and another, because you know how transfers happen, maybe didn't get any official thing, or were injured and then the season ended, or the end of season was at home, or they didn't know they were leaving, Jason, all that sort of thing. There'll be a few down there for whom this will be lovely. I'm talking about the players, sorry.
Yes, of course,
who are, having a little moment there. Nice, really nice.
Absolutely. And also, do you know what? It's great to go down. And I've been on Brayden games many years ago, of course. But it's lovely to go on the pitch and even even when we won the Masters 15, 20 years ago. We were half-time, come round, even me, Clive, Dave Lee, Gareth Hogg, Dimitri Karim, who else was there? Gavin Peacock, Ken Moncat, and you go back and you go in the pitch, it's like, do you know what, this is my family. So it's good to say goodbye.
And to sign off with a win, great cross Ramirez for the Essien header. That was the jump of the night. John Terry popping up in the box at the shed in minute 26. Zola off the bench to do that. Thiago Mendes, Gary Cahill, empty net, 3-0. And then right at the end, Thiago Mendes from a gorgeous Essien ball. Everything about that is magic. The pass, the touch, the finish. To wrap it up right on full-time, a thumping win. I would like to take this opportunity to remind you can text Luca to 70085 and contribute to the Royal Marsden and their continued research. Everybody wants a piece of the action down there. Gianfranco Zola's just chucked a boot into the West Stand. Frank Sinclair milking it for all his worth.
Why not? Why not?
And Suggs, who we heard from earlier, here's his greatest creation. Baggy trousers, embarrassment notwithstanding. Shut up's a good one.
Our house.
Owen Hargreaves, disappointed. Thank you for coming, Bayern, and making this a great occasion.
Ben, you're absolutely right. These players down there have given up their free time to go in, and without them, there is no event. And without opposition, there is no event. So, yes, absolutely thank you to every single one of these guys that have given up their time and would have travelled miles, hundreds, thousands maybe, to be here. And I think, as we said earlier, Ben, I think that just goes to show the extent of the feeling and the love that Gianfranco Luca had when he was not just here but also playing in Italy, and what he's thought of in the footballing community.
Juventus, the Italian national team, as player and coach, and funnily enough, I was working last season on the Cremonese match. That's where he's from, Cremona, and that was his team where he made his name and got the big bucks move. The game after he passed away, and that was pretty heavy duty and wonderful. And it's been beautiful here tonight as well, with a bit of Italian opera as well, and family down there now as well amongst the Chelsea players. Very impressed with Mikel tonight. Thought he was class. Terry and Cahill look like they've got it. Gianfranco Zola could come on and play in a Premier League match. He could just come on in stoppage time. You know, when you need to unlock a defence like Nottingham Forest or West Ham.
Yes,
we
we
ain't
do.
got anyone who can scoop like that, and I don't care how old he is.
Yes,
that
we do,
is the
Ben.
ball to play.
Yes.
But his boots are gone. We'll have to get him another pair of boots. He's in socks, so he's even shorter, but he's no less wonderful. All three keepers got to go. Hilario didn't have to do much. disagree with much of that, as Captain Leader legend meets Luca's daughters down there. And wife.
Please welcome Catherine and daughters Sophia and Olivia Vialli. Once again, the excellent Lord Player of the Match, with Captain Gianluca.
He's quite happy to steal the odd show, John Terry. He wouldn't want to steal tonight's show, but he'll be pleased that he's put in a great performance, and that is a lovely moment there with Luca's ladies.
Yeah, the finest product of our academy. It's a lovely touch. Very emotional as well.
And now, to present the trophy to the winning team, please welcome Catherine Vialli.
Well, Luca came to London and he fell in love with lots of things. And he lived down the road all the way. His wife has brought the trophy over as Gianluca's name rings around Stamford Bridge again. A beautiful night. Cracking game of football. And silverware at the end of it. John Terry is making us wait. Let's hope it's not the only trophy we see here at the Bridge this season. But there'll be few that have given so much pleasure, I tell you that. Everyone here tonight has had a cracking time. There's been a great game of football. Chelsea have scored 4 goals, lots of money raised, and a chance for everyone en masse to just remind ourselves and everyone of what an absolute diamond Luca Vialli was. And it's a shame he's not dancing down there. Dancing upstairs somewhere instead. Plenty of fans still here. They want to lap up every second they can. Bonus viewing of some favourites, and I saw quite a lot of the shirts actually coming in tonight. I saw a couple of Ramirez shirts coming in. I saw a Mikel, which wouldn't have been a hugely popular one probably at the down there. But it's been a great evening and a pleasure for Jason Cundy.
Yes, absolutely loved it, Benjamin. Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
Terry with his hands on silverware as I throw you back down to Lee Parker.
The players are behind us celebrating. Joe, it has been an absolutely incredible evening.
Absolutely an incredible evening, a lot of emotion, a lot of brilliant football on show as well, which is fantastic to see. A lot of emotion at the end, a fantastic finish to a fantastic evening.
And so special to have the family of Luca Vialli here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's hear it for Gianluca Vialli's wonderful family. An amazing evening for each and every one of you. Thank you to all of the players involved. Thank you to each and every one of you here at Stamford Bridge. And thank you to all of you watching at home. It has been an unforgettable evening. Don't forget to donate if you haven't done so already. But from Joe Flemons and myself, Lee Parker, thank you so much. Good night, and we look forward to seeing you again very soon. Thank you.